Krax to the rescue. Fall's colors rising above. This is what I am going to be sending into the dehydrator. I think you can tell a lot of the vegetables, well over a dozen vegetables, close to half a dozen seeds, sprouted French green lentils. I've got some onion in my eye right now. I might start to cry. At the same time, multitasking, having some beautiful fall, local, organic, unsprayed, purple and green grapes. Then I'm having a smoothie, which is over to the right, being mixed up soon. It's not very pretty looking basil. Really miss growing my own herbs. And I've got some lovely lily, and I also bought some, eucalyptus. Oh, I love eucalyptus. I've got it all over the place in this tiny office. So I'm going to be smothering a few plates with this. I get down and dirty, baby, hands on. You got to play with your food. I might shave some peat onto this as well, and I better use both hands. I'm doing it in an ice cream bucket, and so I'll show you over there. It doesn't look pretty, it's just that I broke my beautiful mixing bowl. I'm open to receive. So I send out quite often gifts to people, and most of them don't even thank me, if you can believe that. So I'm doing my best not to send it to them. They're family members, can you believe that? My dogs don't eat cat's hot flax Krax, so there's more of it for me. Because it's dehydrated at 110, it's still considered a living food, alive, and loving it. It's not considered cooked. I don't eat cooked food, so I don't really go for my own crackers a lot. I've made them since the beginning of time, over 22 years, because I raised my son this way. So we made a lot of cat's hot flax Krax. And the only reason I don't call them Kalins, Edward, get out of there, because just kind of rhymes, smoothie. It just goes, flows. Cat's hot flax Krax. But Kaylin, Edward, sit down. I left the garbage out there. It's just an empty meat tray. So of course he wants to lick it clean before I take it to compost. Isn't this pretty? I bought this on Etsy a while ago. It's a Buddhist, I don't know what they're called, not worry beads or as Catholic. The thing is, it doesn't really matter what the label is. Oh, and then they have the beautiful black stones, which are really good protector stones for EMF and also people's negative energy. A guy came up to me today by the wall center and he said, excuse me, he was testing boundaries, right? I didn't slow down for him because that's what he wanted, to see what he could get from me. And he's Persian, and which is kind of interesting because of all the guys that I dated or in the long ago past, never a Persian guy for a lot of reasons. I'm sure there's some nice Persian guys out there. I just haven't seen those that empower women or want to see them empowered. That's just a generalization. My limited experience. And I did live in the Persian Palace, 60 to 70,000 people in North and West Van at the time. And I did have some experiences where some really crude, rude guys were there. But I was immersed in the Persian culture. I met a lot of lovely, lovely Persian girls. A lady yesterday at IOOPS tried to tell me, oh, nobody talks. Nobody says, I'm Persian, I'm from Persia. I said, that's not true. I said, because you haven't been traveling with me and you didn't live in the Persian Palace. Oh, I did live in the Persian Palace. I said, I'm talking about over in West Van, North Van, where I was living with my son in a gated community. She had to excuse herself. She was so rude. I said, what happened to customer service? I said, my experience is my experience, and you can dispute it. You're incorrect. She said, oh, you're wrong. I said, there is no right or wrong. And it was just like, oh, she was inflamed. The other girl was blowing her snozola. She was like touching with her fingers while she's supposedly putting food into plastic bags for me. At IOOBS, I was so unimpressed. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting my own plastic bag because you need to get a Kleenex. And I really don't want that on my food. I just had to be straight up. It was such weird energy. I had to leave my dogs outside to go in there. And then I said at the end of it, I said, oh, I started with 2 dogs and now I've got 4. I look around and then she's looking at me so strange, not focused. And I said, I said, it's a bit of a joke to lighten up. I got her smiling. She apologized. It was unreal. I didn't really need an apology. I spent enough money that I deserved 10,000 apologies. And the thing is that used to be customer was king. Well, where I am, customer is queen. And I worked in sales and retail, public service industry all of my life. Never, ever did I discount someone's, even though I don't agree with opinions, I never discounted an opinion. Um, I couldn't afford to be subjective. I had to be objective. Nobody taught me how to be a good saleswoman. I learned at home. I learned by having a very compassionate, empathic mother and a very funny, witty, thoughtful dad who had his moments. He's a hardworking guy and alcohol on weekends in the old days. So here I am making cat's hot flax Krax, and I'm going to my first shiatsu reflexology ever at a Japanese place at the Denman Mall. I'm going to take my dogs. Hopefully they allow them. If not, it's going to be interesting. And I'm going to take my dogs wherever I want. It feels good. I took them to get my laundry done today. And then a guy came up to me. He's trying to come on to me. Jovan, Jovan. And then he starts taking for a walk. I tell you, my gut just like twisted. Anyway, so this guy, this Iranian Persian, he didn't say Iranian. So that's the thing. A lot of guys in the Middle East, they say, I'm from Persia to make it sound more exotic because they don't like this thing about the Middle East. Well, that's their stuff. So he's checking my boundaries and red flag right away. And he said, I said, well, I do Reiki, so I could do some hands-on or off healing Reiki, and this is the price it is for a 1 hour session. He almost rolls his eyes, just like a narc, because his mask is already coming off. He said, I just thought you might think I'm attractive. Do you think I'm attractive? I didn't answer him because, again, that's more red flag. He wants me to go into his, pool of putridness. And I don't have to answer him. I didn't stop him. I didn't solicit him. He solicited me in front of or behind a really nice hotel when I was going speed demon fast to get my dogs to where I need to get them. And that was around 11 a.m. He might have followed me from the dog park where I was over in Yaletown. I don't really know, and I don't care. So I owe him nothing because he's turned on by me. I said, it's probably my breasts, nothing new. People always like those. Oh, no, I just thought you might be interested in me. Do you find me attractive? I don't have to answer every question because, again, I didn't solicit him. I didn't stop him. I said, my life is different now. I don't do what I once did, and even then I didn't. And that was enough already. I already gave him too much. And I said, enjoy your day. It's about 16 degrees out now. He's wearing a toque, winter hat, winter coat. It just felt like kind of like, it makes me feel, I feel gross when his energy, just gross. I have such pure energy. Really, I love it. And people can project on me and hope to penetrate me, whatever invalid way is not valid to me because it discounts me, it discounts everything that I represent. So isn't that pretty? And now my fingers are allowed to be dirty. My piano fingers, my mother once said that to me. Catherine, you have lovely piano fingers. And I'm going to learn to play the piano just because of that. I did play by ear on a baby grand. I think it was a black baby grand that my cousin Elaine had. She said, do you want me to teach you how to play piano? Well, I'm glad she gave me an option that time. Other time. And I said no. And we stayed at a mansion every summer to do swimming lessons from July to August. So I became a lifeguard very early in life. My sister Carol never. I think it would be really neat if we'd been lifeguards together and had our own lifeguarding company. Just at moments in later years, I felt that. I told a sister of mine, baby sister, I said, I've sometimes wondered, felt, Keith, something happens, he goes first. I hope that she's, doesn't go first. And I said, I have this fantasy, my sister and I, Carol, living together. Oh, Carol would never live with you, Kathy. Oh, my. It's like, just forget it. They once loved me. They were once pure and innocent like I am. And I just have breasts and a body. Wow, forgive me. So I had a lot of positive interactions this morning. I paid a lot of money to have them. Buying food and telling people about my former landlady and EVIL that she is. Oh, just awful. You know, my dogs were poisoned where we lived, and people are just stunned. I think they almost think I'm making it up because people don't want to deal with the truth. Anyway, in general, so I'm going to now put these into the dehydrator, and now it is around 11:30. I'm going to do a few hundred abdominals and some lunges, and then maybe go out again for some sun, and then take the dogs with me after that for my 1:30 appointment. So I better get cracking. That's the old days I'd call it get cracking. Apparently I'm smoking hot. Yeah. All right, so order your cat's hot flax, eat your grapes, and enjoy your autumn, and see you in the sunshine. Gratefully. Isn't that beautiful? A lot of people like that energy of that ring. I really like this too. I have some gifts coming from Etsy that I bought myself. Long overdue. Bless you. Always. And unto thine own self be true.